Welcome to episode 252. Another day, another 72 cents. That's referencing me going back to work. Hey, hey. So it's all good. Chris Long's in the house. Hey, oh crap, I'm very early. Lol, I shall return. That was 2 hours ago. So he should be coming back. Telemachus, greetings, young Americans. Hello, Toll. How you doing, buddy? By the way, I did test prints for you. These are the 10 millimeter tanks that you were asking about. So we've got the two British ones here, and then the rest are Italians. So I'll be getting those cleaned up and get some pictures posted for you to see. So yeah, we got that going. And we do have a special going on over at Wiley Games. 20% off bigger battles until the end of Sunday, May 31st, day before my birthday. So, hey, Walkabout is back, Mr. Long. Mr. Long, how you doing, sir? Yeah. Like I said, once I get them cleaned up, off the, get them rinsed through the IPA and off of the supports, I'll go ahead and get photos and post them up in the Discord. Get you a better look at them, and then we can decide where we want to go from there. So, yeah. Let's see. Hello, Charles. Yeah, you're not first this time. Sorry, buddy. But, hey, you're always one of the first in my book, so no matter what happens. Let's see. Since last week, I have started my new job. I am working as a order picker for Amazon at one of the many Amazon warehouses here in the Kansas City area. I think there's close to a dozen Amazon warehouses here in the Kansas City metro area, and they're building a new one that's going to be opening up sometime in June. It's crazy talk, man. It is crazy. The pay is pretty. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than minimum wage. Even better than the $15 minimum wage that some states are seeming to go to. So I got that going for me. It looks like basic medical insurance for me is going to be $5 a week. So $5 a paycheck. That's not too shabby. And that's with $5 copays. So. Well, hello, John. Welcome. Glad you could come in and join us. Glad you're back. But what I'm doing is I'm what they call a operator picker. I actually pick see the order on my scanner. I go find it. I scan it. I throw it into a bucket and push the bucket around to fill it up. But I've been trained on how to use the OP, what they call the order picker, and that's basically a forklift that has a roller cage attached to it, and instead of the forks going up and down and you staying on the ground, you go up with the forks in the cage up and down, which I was a little leery of at first. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling, and there's a distinct differentiation there, because if you're afraid of heights, you don't like being up in tall buildings, you don't like flying. You couldn't go up into the St. Louis Arch at 660 feet up in the air. I don't have any of those problems because I've got, something solid underneath me. I love roller coasters. I don't have a problem with roller coasters because I know that I'm strapped in and you know, I'm afraid of falling. You put me onto a 6 foot step ladder and I'm damn near terrified. Um, so I was a little unsure, but I'm in a harness with a tether that's attached to the rig. The platform is fairly good size. It's about 4 feet wide, about 3.5 feet deep, and then you've got uh, the roller cage that's got 5 foot sides that are 1/4 inch chromium steel welded mats. So yeah, I was um, Monday night. Uh, I was 27 feet up in the air, grabbing stuff off of pallets and putting them into the basket. So not a problem. So uh, yeah, it's all good. I'm enjoying it. I work 4 10-hour days, so I get 3 days off in a row. So that's nice. The pay's not bad. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be pretty good for me. The only problem is it's Friday through Monday, so I work from 3 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. So I'm not going to be able to get into get any weekend gaming. So like I said, John, yeah, if heights do truly bother you, it would be a problem. But if it's that you just don't like the idea of falling because you're strapped in and you're basically it's open air, but there are arms that come down, so there's a bit of a railing there, and then the basket itself is sturdy. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I think I'm going to enjoy. I said the only problem is it is Friday through Monday, 3 to 1:30. Yeah, it is the landing part. It's that sudden stop at the end. It's that sudden stop at the end, Chris. So that's never a good thing. But is what it is. Like I said, they've got a tether on a harness. I'm in a harness with a tether. I'm hooked on with a tether, and that tether, when you pull it fast, it's like a seat belt. So yeah, splat. Splat is correct. So, but yeah, it was good. It was not bad at all. Plus, it's hot in the warehouse because it's like the size of 3 or 4 football fields, right? Whether you're say American football, Canadian football, or European football pitches, you're talking big. Uh, and obviously they can't air condition the whole thing, so they do have big, huge 10-foot ceiling fans to help move air, but still not great. But when I'm on the picker and I'm driving, it gets up to 5 miles an hour, so it gives me a bit of a breeze. Plus there's fans up top blowing, so yeah, they are serious about the safety. Absolutely. If phones, cell phones and whatnot are not allowed out on the floor anywhere. The only time you can have you're supposed to be able to have your phone out is when you're in the break rooms. break rooms, restrooms, that type of thing. Anywhere else, and especially if you're on the picker, they see you with your phone out. That's an immediate coaching write-up or termination, depending on how serious. If you're on the picker and they see you with your phone out, it's instant termination. So they're not squirreling around with it. So anyway, what have I been doing recently? Well, besides working on getting Telemachus's 10 millimeter stuff going, I got a ZSU 257 printed. Looking pretty good, I think. And then I got a T80. Got that T80 going. What's interesting is it's supposed to have the fuel drums on it, but when I pulled the supports off, the fuel drums came off with it. Got one of the ammo carriers to go along with my M110. Now this M110 is a different designed by someone different than Bergman, so it's not as good. It's got some issues with treads being, well, as you can see, the treads are really thin, and so I need to go in and see if I can't beef those up some. I do have this M109 and the ammo carrier that goes with it. They're basically built. They're built on the same chassis, and the only difference is this one has the turret welded in place, and they removed the gun. And they back up like that, and then they put down a conveyor belt between them, so they can actually just feed shells from one to the other. And when they got to scoot, they just drive off. So very hip. I'm going to be getting all of these put up onto my Whatnot store as a buy now option. So yeah, that's going to be a thing. The M110, I don't know where I got the M110. I don't remember what scale it was supposed to be in. I don't remember if it is I'm thinking it might have been for something bigger than 15 millimeter. I don't think it was a 28 millimeter.
Immediately break down. They're full of potassium, and as a result, the potassium within your body goes.
So we'll have to see, but yeah, I'm gonna set up the Whatnot store with buy now. If I've got some buy now stuff up on that, maybe I can get some traction, and then when I do my auctions, I'll actually get some buying through that option as well. But because I've got a literal motor pool of 15 millimeter vehicles sitting on my desk right now. Everything from M3 Grant Lees all the way up to M1 Abrams and T80s. So yeah, I need to. I'm gonna get Telemachus's stuff finished up so we can get that stuff off to him, and see what else we can get going. So, what has everybody else been out there doing? No one has rescale 6 millimeter to 15 millimeter or bigger. Everything gets thin. Yeah, yeah, it does. So I'm gonna have to take a look to see, what's going on with this thing, um, because the tracks are just super crazy thin,
In February,
and actually it doesn't even look like it's
a warrant was issued for the arrest of Dr. William Cybers.
the right size. I don't know.
He had since
We'll
retired
have to see.
and married a woman
Um,
having an affair with.
like I said, I haven't gotten to do any real gaming recently. Um,
Because of health problems, he was
we didn't get together last Thursday night
not before
for our normal Thursday night game get together for various reasons.
attorneys and to attend church.
But we are going to get together tomorrow, and we're going to play some Zombicide, which will be a first for me. I've played Zombicide virtually with Warmut, where he's had everything laid out in front of it on the table, and he's got the camera on the table, and he's done all the moving for us. Hey, Reese, how you doing? I forgot to say Reese wasn't going to be joining us tonight. He is in care mode, taking care of the wee one. So he's focusing on that, and rightfully so. And I think maybe McMurray is pulling extra shifts because he hadn't
Dr. Ballard wanted to
responded to my information, my
which might explain why
what's what I'm looking for. Invite. That's it. Now Reese told me he just received his models that I've sent out to him. If y'all remember, he got a couple of early Cold War stuff from me that I blew up to 20 millimeter. So he says they look great. Hey, Hizzy Cat, how you doing, buddy? Glad you could join us. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to get this stuff put up as by now and see where we go with it. So, but yeah, back to Zombicide. So I've not sat down and played Zombicide where I get to move the models and have everything there. So I will be doing that tomorrow night. So luckily with the new job, I still get my Thursday night gaming in. I don't get weekend gaming. However, I think starting in June, I'm allowed to, if it's available, do a shift swap. I think once a week I could shift swap. Now I'm not going to do it all the time. But if I know something's coming up, like Battles and Brews is coming up at the end of July on Saturday, so I can shift swap. So I could work a different night that week. So I could work like a Tuesday instead of that Saturday, and it doesn't require any type of authorization. If the swap is available, I just make that swap. On the phone or on the app, I just go in and say, hey, I don't want to work Saturday, so I'll work Tuesday, or I'll look to see if that's available, and I do it. Boom, done. I work Tuesday, I'm off Saturday. So I don't have to have manager approval or anything like that. Same thing with
But with each advance in
um,
forensic science,
time off.
fewer
Um,
that can
if I need to leave work early and I've got
better chance for
the
investigators to solve
the time built up, all I have to do is tell my manager an hour beforehand, hey, I'm leaving at, you know, 10 o'clock tonight. Um, I just put it in the system and tell my boss, and gone. It doesn't have to be pre-approved. I just say I am leaving, and as long as I've got the time, I get to go. So it, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Management has been very good so far. Have not heard a whole lot of grumbling from people. So yeah, I'm digging it. So I see that Mr. Long is painting his Spanish Civil War. Um, Now I'm on to towed guns. Oh, nice. What kind of towed guns are we talking about? Sorry, dogs are going nuts and the wife is screaming at the dog. So, hey, it happens, right? Um, Charles, what have you been up to? What have you been doing any gaming? You got any orcs fighting unicorns or rabbits or anything like that? Mr. Cat, what are you up to? Let's see here. John, fill us in with what you've been up to, buddy. Let us know what you got. And Toll, what do y'all got going? Charles, it appears that I sent some non-verbal messages while my phone was in my pocket. Oops. No worries. It's just coming up with periods. I figured something was going on with you, Charles. No worries. 75 millimeter howitzer at the moment, then a 25 millimeter anti-tank gun. Okay, what is that? Still the Civil War, the Spanish Civil War era? Are we talking? Are we talking World War II? Work and stuff. Well, like I said, I'm back to doing that work thing, and I definitely have stuff. So it's good to be back, and I'm even getting my first paycheck this Friday. I get paid every Friday, so that's I like that. So it's all good. It's all good. I think gaming wise, I think I'm gonna put after I get Telemachus's stuff done. I am going to put a halt on doing some printing until I clear out the inventory, and I'm gonna. Oh, if y'all remember last year, I picked this up, and I think I'm gonna break this back out and see if I can't get it going again. See what happens. The biggest problem I have with my games, or with games in general, is I hate reading rules. I hate reading how to play something, because 9 times out of 10 the rules are like stereo instructions. They're boring as all get out. And I'm very much a visual learner, and a doing learner. I learn by doing and watching it being done. So maybe I can find some videos on how this is played. But I mean, I had it out for a little while, but. Yeah, I want to get back out and see what I can get going with it. Charles says he's finished his rabbits. He read the rules for Wake Island by Mayfair Games in 1981. Very nice. And then Toll said the last hobby thing I've done was to print an extra copy of 5 Leagues from the Border for the group and spiral bind it. Non-hobby, I simply grill and cooked many things over the holiday. Outstanding. Okay. McMurray says he's gonna try to hop on in a bit about done working. Yeah, so he's working some, looking like he's working some overtime. So if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't, sir. That's all good. It's all good. So another I don't know where it went, but oh, it's under here. Another game I'm looking to get back out onto the table is my I think it's the Philippine Sea game. Charles says, and once and again moved games around in my room. Don't know for the better, but hopefully better organized. Well, there you go. There you go, Charles. Let's see here. I've been wanting to get this on the table with some people, but it says it is for 2 to 8 people, but I think it's best played with at least 6. So I'm gonna really get it figured out and take it to Thursday night game sometime, and see if we can get those guys to sit down with me on it. All right, hold on one second. I'm digging in here for looking for stuff. The hell's all this? Oh, Quar sprues to go with my Quar. There we go.
He knew one or both of the boys was lying.
Because of the conflicting stories, we felt that something wasn't right.
All right.
Hoping to uncover something that would bring them closer to finding Carly. Police noticed some scratches on the car's exterior.
So yeah,
They extended the entire length of the car. Other than that, the car appeared to be spotless.
We noticed that the inside of the truck was very clean.
so like I said, the other
Recently washed.
Several
game I'm wanting to sit down and get through is right here. Carrier Battle Philippine Sea.
if there were any present,
Again, I think I'm gonna see if I can find some
Yes, we discovered
video of how to play it, so I can, again, watch how it's done. Because again, I'm very much
something just wasn't
it's easier for me to learn by watching, by looking at it.
see more closely,
So
reddish-brown stain.
let's see. Charles says he's been buying himself into the Prodigal Son series on Netflix. Wow, I'm not sure I know what that is, Charles. Yes, talk about All Hail the Quar. I do like my little snouty boys. I'd like to do more with them, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with them in the future. I really, I think they're a neat concept. The look of them are very good, so I definitely like them. But so yeah, I'm
The seat cushion tested
Space Quar. See, that's the thing was
destroyed any DNA.
I like the idea of the Quar being
Police gathered evidence. The search for the young girl
late World War One, early 20s time frame kind of
was reported through
aspect technology. Not quite sure
police hoped the media coverage would
how they would work
to come forward.
in a future type setting. I could be completely wrong. Also, they might work really well, and I could be just completely off my rocker on that. Who knows, right?
Violation.
So, but yeah.
Information regarding a jacket Jesse wore the night Carly disappeared.
Been again also.
The man said that Jason Desnoyers approached him several days.
Oh, there you go, Toll. Yeah, more space aliens, future converging project in my mind. That could work out. I think.
Carpet just outside the apartment.
Now, what would be? I think would be
Apartment building where the witness said that
where they could really do well. If you want to use them in a sci-fi
said it would be.
setting, is if you're dealing with something like SG-1,
Was a military
they could be,
jacket
or something like SG-1,
stained with blood.
where you've got a team going from planet to planet and studying, and they just happen to stumble onto a planet with Quar and just have them in their original environment, and you have them fighting the Goa'uld and the Jaffa, and an SG team comes in and assists them. That would be kind of cool. So you really wouldn't even need to do much of a conversion then. You could keep them with machine guns and whatnot. So that'd be cool. So yeah. Some other stuff I've been doing. I've been going back and double checking and the models that Chris has provided to me to make sure I've got them to the correct scale that I want them at, and so like these guys right here, and I've also been getting them to where they're both on base and off base, because not everybody wants to have their stuff based. Sometimes people do prefer them to be unbased, like that. So hopefully I'll have those set up. War Games Atlantic Digital just released Armored Snake Jaffa STL. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna go take a look at that here. Hold on one second. War Games Atlantic. It'd help if I was typing in the right place. War Games Atlantic Digital.
One of the things I did notice at the time was that
Okay.
cut on his right hand, which was in the healing process. It was scabbing over, but you can tell that it was very recent.
Let's take a look.
Body standards were also collected from Jesse Avalos.
I always have a difficult time finding things.
Bloodstains found on the jacket and
Let's see.
You must be the Claw. The new human crane takes fun to brand new heights. Try it.
Oh, there we are. Deathfield's Sci-Fi. Okay. All right, come on. There we go.
Forensic scientist Mark Salvo
Oh yeah.
did the examinations. First, Salvo
Yeah, they've got both. Oh, they've got the snakeheads, they've got the jackals, they've got the hawks.
then he applied
Very cool.
to the stains on Desnoyer's jacket.
Looks like there's some discoloration.
Yeah, those are
here in
cool.
this area. I'm going to do a presumptive test on it in presence of blood. I have a colorless solution that's going to turn into a
Definitely close enough.
The jacket tested positive for human blood.
Yeah, I like those.
Salvo also swabbed the shower curtain found
And it's not bad for
using the same method. He learned there was blood on both sides of the shower curtain.
$16 for the set.
These were collected.
What else we got here?
Salvo then compared the blood found on the jacket and the shower curtain and was startled by the findings. The blood on these items came from 3 separate individuals. He discovered that the DNA matched
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot.
but also the victim.
All right, Chris.
unusual in a case like that where you can link 3 individuals to a piece of evidence.
Yeah, I might have to go
All 3 of these
get me some of those just for my own self.
or that some of the individuals carried away DNA and left it on that item.
Those look really cool.
Police still did
I think they'd be pretty easy to paint too. Honestly.
believe the only people who did know were the
Yeah.
two suspects. Since Jason Desnoyers had cooperated in the beginning, Detective Cortez hoped he would talk now.
But yeah, what else is anything else anybody else what else has anybody been doing? Like I said, right now I'm just seeing if we can get how quickly we can get Mr. McMurray here to join us. Sooner the better, I hope. I hope everybody had, if you were in the United States, you had a good Memorial Day weekend. Being able to spend it with friends. I unfortunately had to work, but it is what it is. Excuse me. And then this next Monday is my birthday, so by the next time y'all see me, I will be a year older. Well, only a week older, but it'll have finished my 56th trip around our star. So, starting up number 57. If you told me 30 years ago that I would make it this far, I would have thought you were nuts. But here we are, right? Here we are. What else has been going on for me? I did print up a 6-wheel MRAP Cougar. If I remember correctly, my brother was assigned to these on one of these during his first half of his deployment to Afghanistan, and then after he got back, he was assigned to he was assigned to an up-armored Humvee with a grenade, the Mark 19 grenade launcher. Which I thought I had one of them over here. There's the regular tow. There's the Avenger. There's this standard one. Oh well. Yeah, I printed, like I said, I printed them out. I printed some out, and I had also printed up some M113s. But either my Humvees are really, really big, or my M113s are really, really small, and I'm not sure which. I need to go back in and double check which one is the correct one to go with. Because all my Humvees are scaled properly to one another, and all of my M113 variants are scaled to one another. So I'm not sure which is which. I think it would help if I could find a picture that had both of them like sitting side by side to one another, so I could, see how they look standing next to each other. So we'll get that figured out. Anywho, what else has been going on? Really not much else. Just like I said, I've said several times now, I'm happy to be back to work. Really not ironically, but interestingly, I have to wear composite-toed shoes again at the job, which is what caused me to lose my job doing the data center work, because I had gotten that my toe injury. But they sent me $110 voucher for shoes on Zappos, so I got bigger shoes, so I haven't been running into any problems there. Charles says he's thinking grilled ham and cheese with some refried beans. That sounds good, man. That sounds real good. Now, what you do? Wait, call me crazy. That ham, if it's like a ham steak, you chop that up into cubes. You just go ahead and heat that up. Add some scrambled eggs with the cheese and the refried beans. Boom, you got one great breakfast taco. Now I'm hungry for breakfast tacos. Man, that sounds good, Charles. I can eat that type of food. Mexican, Tex-Mex, Cali-Mex, whatever you want to call it. I could eat it every day of my life, man. I am down for eating that type of food every single day. Because, growing up in South Texas, that's not Mexican food. That's food. It's so good. Let's see. Reese is revising his Way City scenario for a jungle patrol. Any ideas on things for the encounter table? Yeah, tiger traps.
Civilian search and rescue. Horsemen.
Definitely need to put in tiger traps with punji sticks.
Be a body.
Not quite sure how to go about modeling that. Now, I'm not talking physical model, but how to play that in the field in the game. But yeah, you definitely want that. Um,
When we got there, we
I think something, um,
finally we found her.
depending on what game system you're using, definitely want to take the idea of hotspots and hidden movement that you get with Force on Force, where if yeah, there you go. Play it as similar as an IED. Yeah, I like that. But being able to have specific points on the table that your Viet Cong can come out of and then go back into, and then move from spot to spot in the jungle hidden. If they go into the hot spot this turn, as long as they don't have a broken line of contact from spot A to spot B, the turn after next they can come out at spot B. And then the Americans, if they find the hot spot, if they sit on it for a full turn, it will destroy that hot spot. Also, if they control the land between two hot spots, so if you got hot spot A here and hot spot B here, and they're not on top of it, but they've extended their line out this way, and there's no tunnels, then they can't move between the two. Now, if you have tunnels, then yes, that negates the broken line. But yeah, definitely. Those two things are definitely something I think you need to have. I'm going to check something here real quickly because I got, and hopefully
There's a second pattern of
we
trauma
get
consistent with some other type of object.
McMurray here pretty soon. Our foreign correspondent John from over in England, he, Todd, McMurray, and I are in a group chat on Facebook. He says, if you were given $1 million for your hobby spending, what would you do with it? Now, I'm thinking $1 million is a crazy amount of money. So I'm gonna scale that back down to. You know what? No, let's go wild. Let's say $1 million. You've got $1 million that you can literally do whatever you want, but it has to be tied to gaming. One of the things I would do is wherever I'm living,
Sitting in between, they were in control.
whatever city I'm in or metropolitan area I'm in, I would go. I think for $1 million, I should be able to go and lease
That they couldn't just let
a storefront area
go.
to make a gaming room. Yeah, exactly. You and I are on the same boat, Reese. Either buy the space. You could probably buy space, and set up. Set up set up, tables, set up
This could happen to any.
set up a grill, and not like a Weber grill, but a staffed grill, where you buy hot dogs and burgers and pizzas and whatnot. Yeah, that's definitely what I would do. And then, I would probably take about I'd take probably about 25,000, and no, I would not buy a $1 million Pokemon card, because with my luck, the wind, I would have it in my hand, and the wind would pick it up and blow it out, and it would land into a fucking puddle of mud, and now it's just a worthless piece of mush. So no, I'm not spending $1 million on a Pokemon card, or any card for that matter. I take it back. Probably take about $100,000, and I probably wouldn't even need that much. But I would find as much of the Ares games, Battlestar Galactica stuff I could find. I would get as much of the X-Wing miniatures stuff I could find, in much of the Armada stuff as that I could find. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this is the style of Humvee my brother was in. The only difference is this one, I'm being told, is the Marine version, because it's got the longer exhaust pipe and air filter intake, so it can do fording. And this has got the M240 and not the Mark 19. But other than that, this is what he was in when he got a CIB. The other thing is, I would find somebody either to create an STL for me, or a set of STLs, or yeah, I think it would be STLs. I'd pay them to make sure I had every single possible ship from 1890 to 2000 in the ability to print and everything from 1/1200 all the way down to 1/6000. And if that took multiple files to make it look right, then that's what it would take. That's what I would do. I'd also make sure I had an STL for every single vehicle in the United States Army, both combat and non-combat, circa 1985, and every Warsaw Pact vehicle circa 1985. Again, primarily 1/285th and 1/600th for 3 and 6 millimeter, but also be able to go up to 15 millimeter with them. And again, if it took multiples, it took multiples. Because obviously this file and this file are not gonna, these two scales are not gonna come off of the same file. Because if I took this file for 15 millimeter and brought it down to 6 millimeter, this would just be egregiously super small. Hello, Todd. Yeah, complete 85 collection would be cool.
The Washington County Coroner
And I don't need to be completely nuts and have like every single version of an M109 because physically their outward appearance really isn't that big of a difference. I would only need to worry about if there was a real big difference in what they looked like. So obviously, in an M1A1 and an M1A2, external difference isn't that big. Now there is a difference between the M1 and the M1A1 because the M1 is 105 millimeter, and the M1A1 is 120 millimeter. So the gun is going to look a little different. So you would probably want to have two different ones there. The M60A1 and the M60A3 look different, so you would definitely need to, have those. But like, if you're talking about like M4s, the M4 A1 and the M4 A2 and or the M4A2 and the M4A2E8, not a big deal, so I wouldn't necessarily need, all 13 different versions of the M4. I would need all, I think right now there's about a dozen different versions of the M1. And there's not that big of a difference in how they look. Now, are the panel lines a little different on them? Sure, but I'm not worried about panel lines. I'm just worried about, okay, does it what does the turret basket look like? What machine gun is in the cupola? What even if there's a difference in headlamps, I'm not going to worry about that. It's tell me because toolbox on the left instead of the right. Yeah, that I wouldn't worry about. But again, I would definitely want, make sure I had one of everything that prints out in, 3 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 15 millimeter, maybe even 20 millimeter. Now, 15. If you've got 15 millimeter stuff, you can get it down to 10 and up to 20 without too much problem. If you do it right, 6 millimeter can be printed down to 3 millimeter without too many problems. If you've got 3 millimeter, you could get it up to 6 millimeter without too many problems. But I would definitely want to be able to, span the line from 3 millimeter all the way up to 20 millimeter. I don't think I would need 28 millimeter stuff. Just because it's just an M1 in 28 millimeter is going to be like this big, and it's just if I had $1 million and I had that gaming hall, yeah, absolutely, I would have room to store it all, but no, I don't need anything that crazy. So, but yeah, that's what I would do with $1 million. I'd make sure I could have a place to have a gaming club and be able to run monthly gaming events. Yes, Izzy, that's the key. That $1 million is to be spent on hobby stuff. Now that could be printers, so I would definitely be getting bigger printers. Because that's directly tied. It has to be directly tied to hobby stuff. You couldn't use it to buy a car. Now, what you could do maybe, is you could use that to buy an RV and a trailer to be able to cruise around all the different game conventions. There you go. Yeah. So Hookers and Blow would not be on that list because it's not the gaming hobby. I mean, you might play games, but you know what I mean. All right, Charles. Take care, buddy. Thanks for coming in. I truly appreciate it. It's always good to see you, buddy. Take care. But yeah, you know, again, make sure I had a place I could have gaming club and have monthly gaming events. With that logic, use it to retire so you can game more, basically buying time. I mean, you could, but again, I like the idea of spending on useless crap and not just, retire. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thinking about, stuff like that. So, okay, somebody is missing a machine gun. Who are you? Where are you? Which one are you? Who's missing a gun? This is definitely Soviet. He's got his. I got his. Huh. I've got an extra. Apparently, I have an extra machine gun cupola for a Soviet vehicle. All right. All right, Mr. Walkabout. Hey, Meandering Mike. Okay, so y'all probably didn't hear what I came up with why we're talking about hookers, because Hissy Cat's a dirty old bastard, which I appreciate, don't get me wrong. But the question was, if you had $1 million and you could only spend it on the gaming hobby, what would you do with it? And Reese and I popped off with the exact same thing. Get a storefront, either long-term lease or buy a storefront in a strip mall to have a gaming hall to host a gaming club. And I went even further to have a grill, hot food grill that serves burgers and hot dogs and your standard gamer fare, and have tables and terrain and whatnot there. So the question goes out to you guys, how y'all would do that. So because, like I said, one of the things that I would do is make sure that I had STLs for all the different vehicles in the United States military arsenal, and to be able to print in every scale from 3mm up to 20mm. Yeah, Mike's got the create old grognards home for wayward gamers. Yep.
see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads.
I wouldn't go for a storefront, a private entrance to fake out the douchebags. There you go. Yes, go Arsenal, Hiss. For those that don't know, Arsenal is the premier soccer league chamber, premier football league champions for this season, and I heard, and I'm fairly certain it's accurate, I heard West Ham got relegated, which is kind of a surprise to me. I mean, I don't know when the last time West Ham looked to have gotten relegated, but that's kind of a surprise to me that they got relegated. You know, do I think they'll be back next year? Possibly, but it's going to be kind of hard to keep all the top names. So, yes, it's still, it is a Mars thing. It's definitely a Mars thing. That's why Arsenal colors are red. So, they play the Champions League final on Saturday. Who are they playing against, Hiss? Because that would be cool to have both Premier League championship and the Champion League championship all in the same season. That'd definitely be cool. As far as talking sports, San Antonio Spurs are down 3-2 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their next game is tomorrow, Game 6 in San Antonio. Hopefully, they can win there and then end the 7-game series like they started the 7-game series and beat Oklahoma City in Oklahoma on the last game. If I remember correctly, so that game is Thursday, they'll play on Saturday. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the finals start June 4th. The Knicks have already wrapped up their series with the Cavaliers, so they are waiting to see who they're going to be playing in the finals. So hopefully it's San Antonio. Fingers crossed. Because I am a long time San Antonio Spurs fan. I've been a San Antonio Spurs fan for literally as long as I can remember, being that I grew up in San Antonio. You know, it's not like NHL where I, just kind of glommed onto Winnipeg because they're the Jets and their logo is really cool. It's not like the Kansas City Chiefs where I started rooting for them in 1987 when I moved here, because before that my favorite team was the Miami Dolphins because of Dan Marino. And it's not like baseball where the Rangers became my favorite team when Nolan Ryan started pitching for them. I have always been a San Antonio Spurs fan, so always have been, always will be, unless they move. And if they ever move, they're dead to me. That's all there is to it. They're dead to me. As far as Kansas City Chiefs moving, they're still going to be in the Kansas City metro area, so they're still the Kansas City Chiefs. I could give two shits whether they play in Arrowhead or anywhere else. Don't care. Don't care. They're still the Kansas City Chiefs. They're still my favorite NFL team. So. Oh, excuse me. What you been up to, Mike? Gaming-wise. Gaming-wise or food-wise? All right, Hiss. Take care, buddy. it's already been established that Charles was going to have a grilled ham and cheese sandwich with some refried beans. I told him what he needed to do was cut that ham up into chunks if it was a steak, and kind of saute that up, get it nice brown and caramelized, and then add some scrambled eggs with the cheese on top. Throw a layer of refried beans onto a flour tortilla. Boom, Bob's your uncle. You got a breakfast taco. And I just made myself hungry again. I had a couple of pieces of Jack's frozen pizza that I threw in the oven earlier, and that's just not. When I start talking about, refried beans with ham and eggs, and oh man, I had spicy chicken with Mexican rice. Oh, that's tasty. That is tasty. How did you make the spicy chicken? Because that sounds good. It sounds similar to a dish that my dad. I say he invented. I don't know if it's something that he came up with or he figured it out from somebody else. But growing up, it was something that my brother and I could cook and have ready for when he got home, because we lived with Dad after Mom and Dad divorced the first time. We would do shake and bake pork chops. And while the pork chops were in the oven, we would do on the stove top. We would do rice-a-roni Spanish or Mexican rice, Spanish rice with rotel, and with about 5 minutes left on the shake and bake chops, we would pull them out of the oven, dump the Spanish rice on top, put it back in the rest of the shake and bake stuff on top of that, shove it back in the oven for the last five or so minutes, and pull it out and have mixed vegetables. It was so good. Game wise, I've been playing Age of Empire 2 up to 345 out of 357 achievements. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Something that a game that I want to pick up here in the not too distant future, hopefully now that I'm working I can go ahead and swing it because it's not that expensive, is City Skylines 2, a city building game. I used to have it on Xbox, but I had to sell that off because needed the money. But now I want to be able to download it on my Mac and use it and play it on my Mac. So I think it's like on Steam right now it's like $25. So again, now that I'm working, I'm going to see if I can't get that picked up. Also been kind of banging around a little on World of Warcraft, but I am not a big fan of the new World of Warcraft, the retail World of Warcraft, which is what you can play on the freebie side. I'd like to go back to playing Classic, but you have to have the subscription for that. So haven't been able to swing that. Hopefully I might be able to do that once I start getting my paycheck again. We'll have to see. But yeah, that'd be cool to do. I haven't played it in a while, but I do have a character on with EVE Online. Which is okay, but that I think that's a game that you definitely need to have a group with to play, and the group that I had been playing with kind of fell apart, so really don't have anything there. And I've got characters on Star Wars, the Old Republic, but again, you got to have a subscription to be able to really do anything with those characters too. So we'll have to see. I don't have all of the Assassin's Creeds, but I've got the major ones up through. I've got Assassin's Creed 3, 4, Syndicate, what is it? I've got the Colonial America. I've got Revolutionary France. I've got Pirates. I've got Victorian England. I've got Egypt, and I've got Greece. I've got those 6. And honestly, Victorian England is my favorite. I like the Greece one, and I like the oh, and I've got the Ezio collection, the Italian Assassin's Creed. I think that's Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2. So I've got 2 up through Greece. So Odyssey. That's it, Odyssey. But I like the Ezio and Syndicate the most. Those 2. I like the others fine, but those 2 are really my favorite. And then I've also got Fallout 4. I really enjoy Fallout 4. So video game wise, that's pretty much my entire span. If I pick up a steering wheel, I think I would like the Formula One games, because I do like driving games, but I'm not very good with driving like this. I'm much better driving like this, so I would definitely need to pick up a steering wheel to do that. So, anywho. Oh, well, I'm not sure if we're going to get a McMurray here or not. It's 9:18. And he's normally has popped on by now. So I think I might wrap up for the evening. Check my blood sugar and see where I am, and see if I can treat myself to a little bit of a sweet snack. So I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it on up, guys. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank you for listening to me ramble. I know it's not as interesting as when I've got the other guys with me, but I do appreciate it. You guys are great. Mike, thanks for hopping in. Hizzy Cat, I know you're off to eating chicken, but thanks for being here. Telemachus, I should have pictures up no later than tomorrow of what I've got printed up for you, and let me know, so you can let me know what you like. Charles, I know you were watching the kids. Take care, buddy. Reese, I'll keep in touch. I'll talk to you later. And Chris Long, again, as always, I appreciate all the time and effort. John, if you're still out there, thanks for watching. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side.